That's really kind. Thank you ever so much. Thank you. When I was a kid, grumpy old Damien again. I was a grumpy kid, but I think half the reason is because parents lie to kids. We do it all the time. And I can remember, on a slightly different note, I was about that age, I suppose, 10, 11, something like that. And my dad said to me, "Son, come and sit down. Now's the moment." I said, "For what, Dad?" He said, "I'm going to tell you the truth about the birds and the bees." And I burst into tears, cried my eyes out. And he said, "What's the matter, son?" And I said, "Well, Dad, when I was about 4, you sat me down and you told me that there was no Father Christmas. It was you and Mummy who bought all the presents. It wasn't Father Christmas at all. And then when I was about 6, you said there was no Easter bunny. That it was you and Mummy that hid all the Easter eggs in the garden to find there wasn't an Easter bunny. And then when I was 8 and I lost my last milk tooth and put it under the pillow for the tooth fairy, you told me that there wasn't a tooth fairy and it was you and to put the sixpence under the pillow." He said, "Well, why are you crying now?" And I said, "Well, if you're going to tell me when I grow up I'm not going to get laid, I'm really going to be..." You see, we tell these like... My mum and dad, they were keen on fitness. I was keen, but at school, you remember PE at school? I mean, you had the hoops, and you had those horrible plimsolls with the elastic on the top. And what were bean bags all about? Throwing hernias to each other. I mean, what the bloody hell are bean bags all about? But I did like my football, loved my football, and I did end up, when I left school, I joined 1 or 2 football teams. And in fact, I believe we have some very rare footage of one of the football managers of one of the teams I used to play for.
Well, I'm standing here outside of the football ground of Not Very Athletic Football Club, the team that Rick used to play centre forward for some years. I'm now joined by Bob Uppendown, who was manager at the time that Rick signed. Bob, with all of the talk of bungs and illicit payments, how different were things in the time that Rick played for you?
Well, what we agreed.
Oh, yes, of course. 1 minute.
Oh, yeah, Rick, yeah. Didn't last here very long, I'm afraid.
Did he not score enough?
Oh, he scored all right, just the once. Mind you, that was with the chairman's wife and daughter.
So, he scored once with the chairman's wife and scored once with the chairman's daughter?
No, just the once with the chairman's wife and daughter.
You may have noticed when I did Judas Iscariot back in the first half, I had a wonderful kids' choir, and I thought it'd be nice to use them again because they were so sweet. And I'm going to finish up with a little mixture of 3 of the wives of Henry all muddled up. And when I did Anne Boleyn, at the very end of it, I used to do the hymn, "The Day Thou Gavest, Lord, Has Ended." And I thought it would be really nice if they sang it. So you're going to see them again in a minute. Once again, thanks ever so much for coming along. I really do appreciate it. Thanks ever.